So continuing on from the transference blog, if we fast forward, I told a story about me yelling at this lady for being rough with a little girl, but I came down like the raging bear bull to save the little girl and frightened everybody because my rage was so scary. If you fast forward 5 years later, so I had to do a lot of work about being angry at women that don't protect little girls. And that was my stuff. That was my transference. But if you fast forward 5 years later in therapy, I'm in Toowong Village in Brisbane. And I'm standing I'm shopping, food shopping in Coles, and I can hear a woman and I pass her in a couple of aisles, and she's got two kids in a trolley, and they're being naughty, and they are playing up, and one's really little in a nappy in the front, and one's a toddler, it's sitting in the back, and she's obviously not doing well, this woman, and she's just in her own world, and she's yelling, and she's not in a good place, and you can hear her, and you can hear these kids crying, and you can hear her. Anyway, by the time I get to the checkout, she's sort of getting almost through her checkout, but she's yelling really, really loudly, and people are turning going, oh my God, she's having a bad day. By the time I get out to the food hall, I can see a crowd has circled around this woman, and she is screaming, and she's shaking the trolley with the kids in it, screaming and screaming, and the little kid in the nappy's going back and forward, and she hit the child. And I can see people phoning and just standing there frozen. Now, 5 years ago, I would have gone up like I did with the Asian woman and screamed at her. However, those scripts have been healed. They've been uninstalled. Now who's present is the matriarch in me, the queen in me, who has compassion, not because I would ever enable that, but I get the whole story. I go up to the woman who's hysterical, and I gently touch her, because I've been hysterical as a single mum, and I didn't know what was going on with this woman. And I touch her, and I say, you look like you're having a tough day. Let me help you. How can I help you? And this woman just looks at me, and for a moment, you could see she thought I was going to shame her. And when I didn't shame her, she just started to shake and sob and say, he's left me, he's left me, he's left me for her, he's left me with his kids, he's left me. And she started to cry. I just hugged her. And then other people, I don't know what they did, but they seemed to, I don't know, you could just feel the energy in the crowd shift. Anyway, I helped that woman get to her car and get her kids, into the car and the groceries and stuff. And I just shared a bit of my story with her, but I got her rage. I got what she was doing. And the difference was my transference. I'd stopped projecting my past into my future, and I could actually be present and take constructive action, because I will still always be a woman that will never stand by if a child's being harmed. I just will not stand by and do nothing. I cannot. I would be betraying my truth and myself. However, when I become the very monster I'm trying to recover from, I become a part of the problem, not a part of the solution. And so, that's the big thing for us as women. To have compassion for, I do have compassion for those female elders that stood by the man and betrayed the daughter because they didn't know what else to do. And often those mothers that do that, and those grandmothers that do that, or those aunts that do that, or those female elders that do that, for some of them, they're drinking or they're drugging, and that means their maternal radar has been pulled out, the plug's out. And for some of them, they're just so damn terrified of the male that, in an odd sort of way, they figure if they placate the male and side with the male, he'll lay off the children. It's really sad. But, we're all learning as we go. Yeah. And not letting the old tapes of the past play out and leak into our future is how we stop projecting and transferring. Hope that was helpful.